welcome everyone. This is me, Momna Technology Wali. I'm 17 years old. I'm from Punjab, Jhelum, and a co-facilitator at Rehan School Online Academy. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I will take the interview with ChatGPT on the topic the secret building lasting habits. So let's start it. Hi ChatGPT, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing really well, thank you. How about you? How's everything going on your end?
Yeah, it's very nice. Okay, so today I will take your interview. So let's start it. Are you ready?
Oh, absolutely. I'm ready. Go ahead and fire away with your questions, and I'll do my best to give you thoughtful, clear answers.
Excited to listening your question. Okay, so my first question, what is a habit?
Ooh, great question to kick things off. So, a habit is basically a settled or regular practice, something we do often, sometimes without even thinking. It can be a small daily action, like brushing your teeth, or a bigger routine, like a workout schedule. So, it's really just a pattern that we repeat regularly.
Okay, that's great. Why are habits important in our daily life?
Yeah, that's a really important one. Habits are kind of the backbone of our daily life. They help us automate routines so we don't have to rely on constant willpower. Basically, they free up mental energy and they shape a lot of our health, productivity, and overall well being.
Okay, what is a good habit?
A good habit is essentially any positive behavior that supports your goals or well being. For example, things like regular exercise, reading every day, getting enough sleep, those all count as good habits because they consistently move you toward a healthier, more productive life.
Okay, that's amazing. What is a bad habit?
Yeah, a bad habit is basically a repetitive behavior that harms you in some way, like procrastination, smoking, or even mindlessly scrolling on your phone. Over time, these habits can really hold you back or affect your health and productivity.
It's nice. How are habits formed?
Absolutely. Forming habits is really about consistency and repetition. You often start with a small, manageable action, something you can do daily, and then you keep showing up for it. Over time, that repetition solidifies it and it starts feeling automatic. So it's all about patience and small steps.
It's nice. Why do people find it's hard to build a new habits?
Yeah, that's a great point. A lot of times people struggle because it takes time for a new behavior to become automatic, often weeks or months. Plus, life gets busy, distractions happen, and sometimes people just don't see immediate results. So it requires a lot of patience and a bit of self compassion.
What is the first step to start a new habit?
Yeah, the first step is really clarity. You want to define exactly what habit you want to build and why it matters to you. Once that's clear, you can set a small, actionable step, something you can do daily, and then track it. Keeping it simple at the start makes all the difference.
How can a small step help in building habits?
Yeah, so a small step is key because it lowers the barrier to starting. If you make the habit tiny, like just 5 minutes a day, it feels achievable. So you're less likely to get overwhelmed. And once you start, that small success builds momentum, making it easier to stay consistent and grow the habit.
Okay, that's nice. Why is consistency important for habits?
Yeah, consistency is crucial because it's what reinforces the behavior. The more regularly you do something, the more it becomes a part of your identity and routine. Even if you miss a day or two, getting back on track is easier if you stay consistent overall.
Okay, that's nice. How long does it take to build a habit?
Yeah, that's a really common question. The timeline varies, but a lot of research points to around 66 days on average. Of course, it can be shorter or longer depending on the complexity of the habit and how often you practice it.
Okay, that's nice. What is a routine?
Good question. A routine is basically a set sequence of actions you do regularly, often in the same order or at the same time each day. So it's like a structure you create. Routine acts like a framework for your habits. When you have a routine, the habit becomes a natural part of your day. You know exactly when and where you'll do it. It reduces decision fatigue and it creates a sense of predictability, which makes sticking to that habit so much easier.
Okay, that's nice. What is a motivation?
Yeah, so motivation is basically the drive or desire that pushes you to take action toward a goal. It's that internal spark, whether it's excitement, a vision of success, desire to avoid discomfort, that keeps you going.
Okay, that's unique. How can motivation help you to build habits?
Motivation is like the fuel at the beginning. It gets you started on that habit, especially when it's new and maybe a bit challenging. But it's important to pair it with routine and discipline, keep it going term.
Okay, that's nice. What should you do when you feel lazy?
Yeah, that's a really common struggle. When you feel lazy, the trick is to be kind to yourself, but also take a tiny step forward. Just something small. You can also try to reconnect with your why, the bigger purpose behind the habit, because that can re energize you. And sometimes a short break is okay too.
Okay. How can settings goals help in building habits?
Yeah, goals are really powerful because they give you direction and purpose. When you set a clear goal, you know exactly what habit you're building toward, so it keeps you motivated. Plus, breaking big goals into smaller, actionable habits makes them way more manageable.
Okay, that's unique. What is a simple daily habit you can start today?
Oh, a really simple one would be just drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning. It's easy, quick, and it sets a healthy tone for your day. And from there, you can build other habits on top.
Okay, that's nice. How can reminds help to building a habits?
Yeah, reminders are super helpful because they keep the habit top of mind. Whether it's a phone alert, a sticky note, or a calendar event, those cues help you remember to take action, especially when life gets busy.
Okay. Why is it important to track your progress?
Yeah, tracking progress is really important because it gives you a sense of accomplishment. You can see how far you've come. It also keeps you accountable. Yeah, if you miss a day, don't be too hard on yourself. Just acknowledge it and then get right back on track the next day. The key is consistency over time, not perfection every single day.
Okay, that's nice. How can friends and family support your habits?
Yeah, friends and family can be huge support. I checking in, celebrating. Having that social support just makes it easier to stick with it.
Okay, that's nice. How can you stay focused on your habits?
Yeah, staying focused often comes down to simplifying and removing distractions. You can set clear intentions, keep your environment supportive, and regularly remind yourself of the bigger goal. And of course, be flexible. If something doesn't work, adjust your approach so you can stay focused.
Okay, that's nice. How can habits change your daily life in the future?
Yeah, that's the really powerful part. When habits become part of your daily routine, of course.
Okay, thank you so much everyone for watching this video. We met as soon as possible. So take care of yourself and allow